Hello everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of Kingdoms of Amalur, Re-Reckoning. Here we are on part 20, as it says, so in the title. We will be starting the Jaws of Naros today, which is a DLC, which I am not familiar with. I'm pretty sure I'm not familiar with. So, yeah, this is going to be quite interesting, to say the least. This is unfamiliar territory for me. Very nice. Yeah, not nice. Anywho. Starting the stream more even later than usual. Here it is at 6:30, 6:33 really my time, but for those who are watching on YouTube, it doesn't really matter. You're watching it when you're watching it. So yeah. Now, before I start this, I'm gonna starting to think. Nice. Part of me says I should go and what do you call it? But it's not on the map though. Really don't want to travel here and all the way back down again, though it's no big deal. Not really sure what I should do. Maybe I'll find something here for a stash, like I did in, what do you call it? But we'll see. Naros or Naros? I'm not really sure how it's pronounced, but alright, let's do this.
Back. The southern lands are waiting for those brave enough to explore them. We're in the foothills of the Teeth right now. It's not the easiest place to reach, sheer cliffs of stone, and few passes through them. Sverri's got a fairly good head on her shoulders. She's only got eyes for gold, but there's plenty for all on this trip. When it comes to navigating ruins, there's no one I trust more. Been a mercenary for about 20 years now. Toured with the Warsworn, but didn't take quite as much pride in the work as they wanted. So I struck out on my own. You can make a fair bit of coin selling your sword to keep a farm or two safe. Not that I'll need to anymore. During one of my other campaigns, I chanced upon a diary of an Almain monk, Denric the Crazed. Said he found a way to the land south of Dalantarth. After reading what he found there, cities of gold, fountains of sapphires, I decided I wanted to see this land for myself.
Do you know much about the Teeth?
Few facts. The only record of a successful journey there was by an Almain missionary named Denric, returned half dead and maddened to hell. He claimed the southern land as home to a miraculous city, wrought of gold and trimmed with silver. Even said it floated above the earth, if you can believe it. It's hard country, damn impossible to find a pass in the mountains, but if I'm right, this cavern will take us under them.
Why do you need me?
Because Denric wrote of more than wealth. Tales of giant men, tall as houses, that slaughter any who approach. It took weeks even to convince Cash and Sverri to join me. With a fourth, we can take a bigger haul without sharing too much of it.
You believe a madman?
Denric was crazed, but I don't hold him a liar. I can overlook some bogeyman's tales if there's riches to be had. Can you?
Do it.
Then we only need to begin. I've seen to all the logistics and all the preparations for the journey. Meet us in the southern passage. Let's try to cover as much ground as we can.
Where is the southern passage?
It's the cave next to camp. I heard rumors that it was filled with artifacts that none had ever seen before. Strange carvings and huge works of stone. I don't know how dangerous it is, but I advise against being too carefree inside. We should go in as a group. Stay close.
Alright. I can open the window, just meaning for a quick moment.
The time of deliverance is almost nigh. The teeth of Narus have gone untamed since the rocks were young, since the wind was but a child. And now, my chosen people stand on the precipice of taming this land, or succumbing to it. I thought once that none could change the stars of this world. But at last, one has come who can. Come, thou fateless one, I beckon thee.
Alright, here we go. That's just not right. That thing's bigger than my leg. Day 14. Little in the way of food and water left. I'm licking rocks for what gritty moisture kisses their face, and eating what lichens I can pry off the rocks. Bitter at first, but after a few they begin very much so to taste like, how shall I put it, like smiles and blood and yelling and smoke and dung. I think I'll have some more. What is this cave anyways? Braziers and columns seem to be of some importance. Haven't seen their work before. I feel like a child next to them. Was this once a hall for giants? Or have I grown shorter? Perhaps I should stop eating quite so much lichen. Not really sure why I took it, but I did.
What the hell is that thing?
Strange corpse. This body appears to resemble stone, but on closer inspection it is flesh and blood. It appears to have died in some violent manner. The trappings on it are of an unknown make.
This... what is it? It looks like it's made of stone. But this stain... this is blood. This thing is flesh! I'm not going to stick around and find out what killed this thing. This whole damn place is cursed. Leave me.
Damn Craven. Don't know what Cash was getting so worked up for. Just a statue somebody toppled over and got all bloody. Let the mage run to his mother. We don't need him.
Something tells me that is not a statue. What was that corpse?
We don't even know if it was a corpse. Could have been a statue that an Eton decorated with some entrails or something. I can't believe that Craven mage. What is that thing? Wait a moment. I don't like the look of this hallway up ahead. This is Sferry's area of expertise. Let her take the lead here. What was that? First the mage turns coward, then Sferry dies doing the one thing she's supposed to be suited for. Is this some sort of joke? What's next? Are you going to reveal you're really just a kobold with a bad case of mange? Clearly, yes. I should be more thorough when recruiting my expeditions. Fine. Let's just keep moving. We'll manage on our own from here.
What do we do now?
We keep going. Cash proved to be useless, and Sverry's not helping anyone anymore. Looks like it was always up to us. With just two of us, we'll have to try and manage as best we can. It won't be easy, but I thought something like this could happen. Come, we must...
They don't want Shadow Prism as their nesting junk, glitter, clatter, whatever you want to call it. Hold on a moment. One of those damn beasts hit me worse than I thought. I think I need to rest for a while. Here, I'm going to wait here. Scout the passage ahead and see if you can find a place to make camp. Will you be okay?
Will you stop fussing over me? It's not doing either of us any good for you to stay here. We need to find some place to make camp.
Take a healing potion.
I'll take it, but I'll wait until I really need to use it. Be a shame to waste the thing, wouldn't it? Now get going. I need to rest. Discover what you can, and come back to me.
We'll be okay.
I told you, I'll be fine. I'll save the health potion you gave me for when things really get dire. Now, find a place for us to make camp. I'll be fine. Get going.
How is this here? Body cleaning. Sorry, that's pretty funny. Tail's going nuts. Scarab salts, okay. Day 20. Leg is pretty much useless for walking now, but what sights? Could Mitharu have left a glorious temple such as this? Ceiling so high they cannot be seen, a statue of a strange sort that I could not understand it. I even cannot describe what I have seen in the views beyond this chamber. But for a fleeting moment, I have seen true glory. A city of such shimmering beauty that I cannot find its like in anything I have seen before. Mitharu could never be contented with a city on the hill, while this one gently floats upon nothing, lording over the earthly dominions below. And what else but its inhabitants? At first I thought the statues moved and walked and even perhaps spoke, but I was far and hidden and could not hear. They were giant, as tall as 2 men, and fierce. Besides, they had the strength of a Jotun and such speed. A terrible fate awaits those who give them cause to malice. If this was a true report, or merely a vision brought to me by my God, I could not tell. But I must spread the word of this discovery. The world must know of this strange Southland, of giants and cities built upon stones that are not there. Pick up strange artifact. Received cipher of Ethane.
After centuries, it has come to pass. The cipher has reached thy hands, Second. At last, my work can be completed.
Who are you?
One who watched and waited for decades and centuries and eons, and all for this day when thou wouldst come before me. I have read the fates of this world to find thee, unfated one. Much rests on your shoulders, but I have one more burden to lay upon thy brow.
How could this meeting be fated?
Since the inception of my labors, I have always known that their fulfillment would require fate to be unbound. Such is the paradox of faith. The tapestry of fate offers no allowance for such events. Only an unfated being could complete the work I had started. So I waited, in despair and hope. And then thou came to pass. I needed thy nature, and it was created, though I had no hand in it. I see that as fate, in a way.
What do you need me to do?
To continue thy path through the tapestry of fate, and perpetuate its sundering. I will open the way to the teeth of Naros. Seek the Primos, and thy duty will be made clear in time. Go now with my blessing. Go now with my purpose. For thou art beckoned. That which was ordained must be undone.
New twist of fate awarded. Beckoned. You accepted the challenge of a mysterious voice to bear a strange artifact into a hostile land and realize her will by changing the course of fate. Plus 10% damage while in reckoning mode. Mama Pizza? I'm okay, how are you? I'm quite late streaming. As you can see, I started about 6:30. There she is. The floating town, land, whatever. Could have been lurking. You creeping? You creeping on me there, Mama Pizza? I'm just kidding. Let's see. No shadow prism. Do not want.
First we have an army of Jotun at our gates, and now this. I don't know you, little one, but you'll find no quarter here. This is still Colossi-held territory for the moment. State your intent.
What are you?
You barge into these lands, and yet you do not know who holds them? I am. My people are Colossi. For years we have held these lands as the hallowed grounds of our gods. We are stone and flesh, sword and faith.
I mean no harm.
Everything does harm in these lands. I do not know you, so why should I take you at your word? Furthermore, none have come from those caverns since they were sealed, save you. How is it you came here?
About the caverns.
It is a road that has gone otherwise unwalked since it was sealed. How did you walk this path?
A strange entity invited me. Some statue dragged me.
Strange entity. A curious riddle, but one that must be solved later. It seems the Jotun have rallied their strength. Steel yourself. That was well fought, little friend. You have a strength in your arms that belies their lack of girth. Perhaps you are not the interloper I believed you to be. You claim to have been summoned, but for what purpose?
I must seek the Primos.
What strange forces brought you here? You speak of the Holy King of my people, and that artifact you bear. Could it be the cipher? Your mission is twice damned already. The Primos is a recluse. But more immediate than that is the Jotun horde. Idilla is sealed off as long as they continue plaguing my people.
A recluse.
Yes, hiding away in his high tower and pining for gods that will never listen to him.
Never listened to him.
He is our spiritual leader.
Oh,
That is all you need to know.
that sucks. So even at a 95%, I was still able to feel that. That sucked. Tell me about Illydia.
It is the city you see floating in the sky over this land of savages and dangers. It is my people's greatest accomplishment and failure. I cannot speak more of it to an outsider. Forgive me.
What is the cipher?
A relic of great importance to those of my people that carry the faith. I thought it was just a myth, but one who carries the cipher is much loved by the gods. So the sages of my race say. A blessing as much as a curse.
If I help, can I meet the Primos?
The Jotun are led by Karunk, a warlord that reigns over his horde from his ramshackle tower. One of my scouts, Remy's, watches them now. He can offer you advice on fighting the warlord. And if you can kill Karunk, I will lead you to the Primos myself. Keep it close to you. That artifact is proof to many that you are the avatar of the gods. It holds much power. I command the soldiers that protect my people, the Colossi, from the dangers of this land. They are many, and we are but few. Each passing year it seems more and more like we lose ground. But what can we do? We are commanded to stay here. We have come, little one, from savage lands and savage past. We have been picked by the gods to carry their will across this world. And now we inhabit this land, summoned by our gods to do their works, and who now are silent. The warlord is cruelty incarnate. He has transformed the memory of my people's leadership into that of slavery, as if we possess such barbarity. He makes camp in the barbarous tower you see in the distance. He must be killed if this is to end. The Jotun are a savage race, but their cruelty can be controlled as easily as it can be fostered. Before we came here, the Jotun were our wards, but that was a lifetime ago. And now they call for our heads. It is a wonder to any mortal eyes, though because it is not good enough for the gods' tastes, we must call it a failure. And still we bear this bitter truth every morning, and by every sundown it seems liable to crush us under its weight. It was an old passage built by my people as our faith demanded. Once it was to lead to fertile woodlands, but we were commanded to stay our diggers, our masons. So we remain in the teeth.
How do I stop the Jotun?
The quickest way to end their threat would be to kill their war chief, Karunk. With his death, the others will be brought to heel. Bring word to the city. They will need to know about the Jotun and this interlude. having luck with your task.
That was the way it came from. Got a little confused until I seen that drop down. Yeah, I was, not gonna lie, I feel tired. I don't know why. I think it's because it's warm in my room. I know that's usually my go-to answer, but I was fine until now. Like, it slowly began getting a bit warmer, I mean, but I did, but we've been getting warm temperatures, somewhere between 5 and 8 degrees, like at nighttime. I know it's not exactly warm, but it's mainly that the wind's not blowing in my direction, basically. The wind's taking another direction. Oh, right. Item. One of these items is what I just picked up, but I can't remember what it was. On the history and nature of the Fae, I think it may be this. In the famous Godstorm, or Withering War, Lord Issa took up the ancient cursed Talisman of Fate, a powerful but treacherous magical artifact of the heroic age Seelie clan champions, and came upon Lord Owen and his warband in the fogs and quicksands of the shadowy plains. Lord Issa, Lord Owen, and their bands fought for hours in confusion until most of their supporters were dead, and both Issa and Owen were terribly wounded. At last, Issa took a mortal wound, and Owen, thinking himself the victor, left Issa alone to die, but the gravely wounded Issa gave his page the Talisman of Fate and sent him after Owen. I'm not sure what it is I just picked up. I can't remember. That's what I get for not paying attention. Alright. I see lore. Let's go to lore.
In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos, existing from the hill lands alone. They held not the blessings of the gods, and so were blinded to their own potential. We lived in ignorance among the savage people. We wasted the gifts of the gods ourselves.
Okay. They're saying Amalur. Letter from Diodorus to the trolls. Brother and sisters, I write to you in the name of Athene. Blessed be her name and the names of her followers. O great trolls of the mountains, you who shake the ground beneath your feet, who fear nothing save the wrath of Naros, who crush rock and crumble stone, I offer wisdom. What is wisdom? It is the gift of Athene, the goddess of the morning sun, who enlightens the world from the highest of thrones. She is the wisest counsel to Naros, who heeds her call. Yes, even Naros, even the densest of rocks yields to the chisel, and so should you. The trolls of the mountains yield to the mind of the great goddess. And then on the other end it says, or not, do whatever you want. No, I'm just kidding. said no. Alright, more lore.
Then, one Myru heard the whispered golden notes of the voice of wisdom herself, Athene. The goddess bid him to raise up his brethren, so they may know the favor of the gods once more.
We are Athene's chosen. We follow her path. Guide us to your blessed wisdom.
Uh-huh. Wonder why this is marked. Njorder's font. No idea what that means, but anyway. Let's head this way. Slots left. Yikes.
There is so much talk of gods and faith in Idylla. But out here, I feel as though it is only me on this mission. Alone or no, someone must try to fulfill these goals. Perhaps my gods will help, but until then I must help myself. The Teeth of Naros is a very dangerous place. Even those that know the dangers well can still find themselves at its mercy, or lack thereof. We have earned much for our closeness with the gods, but we have a duty to share that connection with all of Amalur. The Jotun have old ties to the Colossi, very old ones. We marshaled their strength for the glory of Athene before we came here. We felt ourselves their custodians, but they viewed us as masters, and their resentment only grew from there. With this city still being incomplete, I have found myself more interested in research than the gods. We have been given the light of Athene, but we should share that with as many as we can. I am a diplomat, so to speak. Though they lack our grace, some of the brutes of this place have in them a shred of reason. The marauders were once thinking, feeling colossi, and the Jotun were kin as well. I must try to appeal to their wisdom. Be careful. There is nothing safe down here, nothing.
You must be the beckoned, the blessed visitor from an unknown land. But perhaps, if you have the strength to reach these lands alone, then you are strong enough to aid me. Imposing and indignant creatures, we Colossi have managed to drive the majority of them from this vicinity. But those that remain have started digging. For what? I don't truly know. Only that they seek some means of retribution. I would prefer to stay within the sturdy walls of Idylla, but nothing can really substitute for practical experience, can it? This is the homeland of the trolls, so to speak. I aim to study them, so I must do so in the wild. Idylla is indeed the most beautiful city one will ever see, for the gods themselves inspired it. I manage to do what I can in the way of study. There are few resources available for a student of history out here. But it is important nonetheless. Where would we be if not for historians? How would we have acclimated to this land so quickly? There were tomes and prayers written in your honor centuries ago. We were forced to leave them behind, but if only you had seen them.
What do you need from me?
I have been studying the trolls in the area and have seen something of great concern. The trolls have unearthed a number of urns which possess a deadly magic. They are curious. For as long as we have been here, my people have not encountered the like of these urns, nor the ashes they contain. I lack the strength to face the magics of these urns, but Athene is in your thoughts. You could destroy them.
Alright, what kind of magic is this?
The trolls believe these urns to be artifacts of the god Naros. But the ashes they contain have a vile, corrupting magic. I fear what may happen if the trolls are left in control of these urns, and the power they contain.
I'll find and destroy the urns.
Thank you for your help with this. The ashes contained in those urns are too dangerous. There are troll dens scattered around the teeth. It is probably best to start your search there. However, you will be able to feel the dark magic when you are near to one of the urns. Safe travels, Beckon.
Okay. Says. Oh, it's an urn. Okay. Let's go to that urn first, shall we? Dark magic. He died funny, yeah. Mid-air. Oh. Somebody's cooking something, and man, does it smell good. It almost smells like soup. I know it's not here because we're getting Subway for supper. God, it smells so good. It smells along the line of like chicken noodle soup. But it's got a smell that I can't really pinpoint what it smells like. Oh god, that smells so good. Then suddenly, Mama Pizza's like, oh, I just farted again. Sorry about that. It's like, Mama Pizza. Just listening to the people outside my window.
And so this Myru gifted them with Apothani heart, and the newly born Colossi found deliverance. With the gods once more upon the mount, so did they surge towards the teeth of Naros, towards majesty.
Your prophet leads us to glory in your name. Blessed is the way of Kratos.
This was so good. 15. Okay, 226. Oh, that can go. $18,573 gold. Oof, that is a lot. It's not that I don't like soup, it's just I gotta be in the mood to have it, and that's like once in a blue moon. But when you're in a place that you can smell, like, it smells like soup, but when you smell the soup and your craving takes over. Even though you weren't like, you know, this isn't the once in a blue moon. Oh man. Like my mouth is watery right now. You have no idea. It or as soon as I discover Ivory Peak, okay. Alright. At least I can fast travel here. So this isn't all for naught. Campbell's? I would love to, like, make my own, soup. Just, like, buy, like, 2 things of, like, chicken broth. You know, the chicken stock. And then just, like, cut up some carrots and, you know, have chicken put in there, and then, like, you know, bow tie noodles, and then just have at it. But I don't know if you have to cook the chicken separately, or if you put in, like, raw chicken and then cook it that way. Needless to say, I know about as much cooking as the common, you know, 6-year-old kid. That's frightening. Okay. I'm like, there's no enemy there. Oops. Junk. Spirit wave shoes. Alright, where's the lore? There we go, lore.
By the magnificent graces of Athene, a city was built upon gloried heights. So stood Idylla in bountiful tribute, a colossi bastion, the virtue of the Uranos.
We build this for you, Athene. We build this for you, our blessed goddess.
Rover, yeah. Would his name be Rover by chance? See how much the Presmere hammer goes for. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. It's awesome. Yeah, this doesn't look vaguely scary at all. See these big, huge nests with like huge eggs and so much other stuff, and it's like, yeah, no, this isn't alarming or frightening at all. By no means. By no means. Oh. Okay. Collecting something I can't read. Giant land. Well, pretty much that's what we've already, know about this area so far, but yeah. No. No. Can't believe it just broke 2 locks on their easy mode. I do want. Hold on a sec, folks. Sorry about that, folks. Even I just asked my mom, and I'm like, you smell that? And I'm like, wait. And I'm like, it actually smells stronger now. And she goes, it could be the subs. And I'm like, no, this smells like chicken noodle soup. And she said she smelled that too. She couldn't smell it in here though, because it is a faint smell. So it must be a neighbor making soup or whatever, but oh man. Oh, so good. Oh, go off. Yeah. Get out of here. Puny one. Oh, that's it. I'm tired. I'm headed up to here with your short jokes. Call me puny. Puny just kicked your booty, lady. Yeah. Puny just kicked your... Oh, more lore. More lore.
Yet tragedy befell these giants, as in trying to force the Hyperion upwards, Athene was angered and made her rage known. And so the life was driven from some, the faith from many.
Forgive our trespasses, and bless us with wisdom. Athene the All-Knowing, in whose name we pray.
Oh, it's starting to give me the heebie-jeebies. Earth Shrine, you discovered another new location. Oh, look. It's the mask again. Really? Nothing? Nothing there? Okay. So near Tola should have been over there. This strange artifact doesn't seem to be responsive. Well, duh. This way. Something's up here. I'm not... Why is that circle not... Now the circle's gone? What? About that. Can I leave? Great. Cool. I'm like, what is this? Is it going to bring me upwards? Is it going to bring me downwards? And the answer is downwards. Our hero was lost, yeah. I'm like, I didn't discover that place? What the? But now knowing what I know now, I'm like, I'm going to go back and discover this place. And I just did. So let's hightail it all the way back. Want to uncover a little bit more land. Look at those things fly around. Yeah. It's gonna be me versus those birds someday. If not, I'll be shocked. So I'm expecting to fight those birds. Birds. Aye.
Time to die, beauty one!
Oh, you missed. Basically circling back around again. Let's go to the camp. I wonder if I can fast travel out of this area to the original OG land. If I can, great. If not, then, well, I gotta figure out how to sell stuff.
There.
Yep.
You destroyed all the urns? What a relief. Their dark magic will no longer be attainable by the trolls. You can withstand these magics. Perhaps you can make use of this artifact I've uncovered. A grim shield, but strong. Safe travels, Beckon.
Would that I had time to worry about Idilla, but my work takes up so much of my focus. I can only spare it half-thoughts. Hello there.
Yeah. Alright. Let's try it. Can I fast travel to this place? Oh, snap, yes. Oh, thank the gods I can actually go here and just be like, Sell. Sell. Sell all the monies. Or sell all the money. Sell all the goods. I don't know why, I just got this in my head, but I think merchants are only supposed to have so much money.
34 and 30.
Or I could be thinking of another game all of a sudden. Let's see what he says.
The mage staff. Would you prefer? Go for
no.
Mage is worth their salt. 5.
No.
Consider the mage staff. Go for
no.
Every serious student shops at. Consider the mage staff. Would you prefer? Go for Mage is worth
Give me
their
the
salt.
shop icon. Give me the shop icon.
Curios, class, a pleasure. Those rare and potent marvels. Consider the mage staff. Would you prefer ordinary or illustrious?
Thank you. Okay, no. I was thinking wrong. I don't know why I was thinking that all of a sudden. Maybe I'm thinking of... Dragon Age? I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Sell junk. How much money? Oh my god, that money. Oh, that number. Oh. Sold 39 junked items for 120,066 gold. Oh my lord. Now see, if that was me right now, I probably would succumb to my knees and be like, oh my god, look at all this money. So much money. Alright. Go talk to this man, shall we? Remy's camp. What's up, Remy?
Ah, what a horrid little thing you are. Are you some
Well, that's
kind
not
of
nice.
runt? Explain yourself quickly. The last thing I want is to give away my position.
Sikandra wants Karunk dead.
That much I was aware of, and I knew Sikandra would send someone. But you? A sign of the times, to be sure, but if you're to do the deed, then I have information that you will need.
What can you tell me?
Karunk is truly powerful, but no more so than his brethren. It is not his strength that's troubling. It's his fortitude. 2 kobolds he keeps with him work some strange magics that heal his wounds and help him resist injury. Kill them, and the fight is yours. Using primal magic would certainly help as well.
What is primal magic?
Strange thing, aren't you? Primal magic is a magic imbued upon weapons and gems. Only armament can channel it. The magic does some damage on its own, but its true strength is its ability to augment other magics you cast on your foe to a devastating degree. Take this weapon.
Use it to inflict primal magic on a foe and let loose your spells. Even a Jotun warlord could not withstand such an onslaught. She is a competent warrior and good leader, but she's served the city almost non-stop since she became the captain of the guard. Every day she seems more strained than the day before. How long can she continue serving the city? They gorge themselves daily. They fight at the slightest provocation. They pride themselves on their odor. Are these truly the menace to our society?
Yes.
I am a scout for the Idilla Guard. There are many dangers that lurk in the corners of this land. My job is to root them out. I have seen him rip a spear from his belly without so much as a grunt. We thought he might just not feel pain, but I know his secret.
Tell me about primal magic.
It is an older form of magic, one that does little damage on its own, but can wreak havoc when combined with elemental spells. Using weapons infused with primal magic, you can increase your foe's magical sensitivity. Even a troll's hide will have its resistances sapped. Imagine loosing your most damaging spells with no resistances. Few would survive such an onslaught. Be careful.
I like how I'm able to like push his body around by walking into him. I'm like, what a pushover. Anyway. Runk's Tower. This is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Whew. Got it just in time. Alright. Haha. Killed the bird. Yeah, no. The game keeps throwing Shadow Prism at me, and I keep saying no to it. Next. Alright, here we go. Try this again. God, nope. Okay. Alright, inventory. Zell, Solar, no, whatever. It's a good ring. I'm not gonna sell that. Though I'll probably never use it, but we'll see what's what. Good luck, thank you. This is okay. Well, my persuasion skill is already at max. Harder they fall. Bronze trophy achieved. Kill these guys yet. Please. Yes. Oh, crap. Slots left. Oh, yeah, we've been in there. Hello. Oh. 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 Let's see what we get in here. Oh. Don't want. Do not want.
I had heard. From Remy's, I received word that one such as you entered Karunk's tower with no trepidation, no anxiety. Do I even have to ask? Does the war chief still draw breath?
Karunk is dead.
It was said the gods would call their champion. And here you are, bearing the cipher, seeking the Primos. For your role in deposing the warlord, I give you this. A hammer prized among the Jotun, so I'm told. Use it as your trophy. Now my forces can put the rest of the Jotun to the spear beckoned.
Beckoned? What is that?
Before this day, I thought it was just a myth. A lie my people told ourselves to make our sins more bearable. The beckoned is a deliverer. The beckoned speaks for the gods. The beckoned is their messenger, their conduit. What is the beckoned? One who carries the cipher, the icon of the gods. One who faces the troubles of my people without hesitancy. The beckoned is you.
Are the Jotun still a threat?
With their leader dead, they will likely keep to themselves and lose the will to harry my people as they have. I will wager that they won't suffer incursions into their camp, for good or ill, but still they have caused my people suffering. Shall we wait and allow them to inevitably rise again? This is our best opportunity to finish them.
Very interesting. If I would have known this was going to come up, I would have saved. I want you to spare the Jotun. But at the same time, it says, you're right, they should die. Aside from, you know, the obvious, like, oh, you stole, you're a bad character. A bad, evil character would say, kill them. But in this case, a good person would say, let them survive, let them live. But I don't want to become enemies with these people. gonna go spare them.
I owe you much for killing Karunk beckoned, so I will do as you say. I only hope you do not reap bitter fruit from your generosity. Now I will take you to the Henge, and then to the Primos, as I promised. The Primos is our ruler, and the most devout of the Colossi. For example, our current Primos, Anakatos, has sequestered himself away from our people in prayer for years. Meanwhile, we are threatened every day, and because of Anakatos' extreme measures, we lack guidance.
What is the Henge?
An artifact my people made. With the city in the sky, we knew we needed a way to travel from the teeth and back. The energies it focuses are the same as those that keep the city aloft. They can levitate people and objects safely.
Okay.
Very well.
I wouldn't mind having her as a wife.
You did it.
Oh, I thought something was gonna happen, so I was waiting. And then I'm like, is anything gonna happen? And then I'm like, maybe not.
Here, beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city.
Can a bird just carry me up there? Better yet, let me ride a bird. Let me fly with the bird all the way up top. It'll be majestic. No? Alright, fine.
I have thought on your decision to spare the Jotun, and how our intolerance exposes our hypocrisy. At first I saw no reason for it. The Jotun are cruel and savage. Then I realized that we Colossi were that way once, until someone gave us a chance. Farewell.
This henge will allow you to travel to Idalia, the city above the teeth of Naros. Travel to Idalia. Bronze trophy achieved. Beam me up. Nice Star Trek reference. Well, basically, yeah, Star Trek reference. 28,300 gold. Oh, sweet. Want. Very much want. I love me some gold. Hey there, cutie. You waiting for me the whole time?
And here you have it. Idylla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene. Now that the trouble with the Jotun has been solved, I am free to investigate other threats to my people, and there are many options to choose from. We are adrift in these lands, I must admit. We might have been great enough to overcome the burdens, but now we cannot. The goddess of wisdom was our patron. Though my people worship all the Titans, they hold Athene as our personal guardian. But the gods do not look to us or listen to us. What manner of patron neglects their charge, leaves their wards to the wilderness?
Why does he hide?
The gods choose the Primos to lead we Colossi, and to enact their will. Of the gods, we are the favored of Athene, the goddess of wisdom. Or we were. Athene's once common words have been quiet for some time. The Primos has prayed in isolation for years, but she does not answer. Be cautious in these lands.
Just let me past. I will only be gone for a short while.
You know why you cannot leave. Without you, the city could never be completed.
You cannot keep me here against my will. I'm not some animal.
You know it is far too dangerous for you to leave.
My business in the teeth of Naros is no concern of yours. Others may come and go as they please. I demand the same respect.
No, Passator. It is not safe out there. You must remain in the city. That is final.
What is it? Unless you can somehow convince the guards to let me leave the city, you're only wasting my time. I'm sorry. It just makes you a little crazed, you see, being locked inside the city like a penned animal. All I want is to leave for a short time to travel to the Warren and check on my wife, Galatea. But I cannot leave.
You let your wife in the Warren?
I did not choose to leave her beckoned. I wanted her to come with me, but she can be difficult to move to action sometimes. But I cannot retrieve her now, for I am one of the city's finest masons. The guard are under orders not to let me leave, so I do not die. All I want to know is that she is unharmed, but I've done so well for this city that I am forbidden from departing.
Should I bring her back?
Well, you can certainly try, but Galatea is stubborn as stone.
I see what you did there. I could check on your wife.
Would you truly beckon? That is something. At least I will be certain that she is unharmed. I left her in the ruins of the Warren, the city's old quarry. You should search there for her.
Where's your wife again?
We were separated when the city was razed. I last saw her in the quarries of the Warren. My wife and I were separated when the city was razed. I believe her to still be in the teeth of Naros. I hope she is unharmed.
Hope she is too, my guy.
The stone used to build this city was dug out from the Warren. It was our main quarry. But much of it is inaccessible now. The rest is home to beasts. I am one of Idila's finest masons, so much so that it seems I am an institution amongst my people. It seemed nice at first, but they handle me like a work of art, with too much caution. This city is the child I never had. I poured myself into this stone, these edifices, these reliefs. But now I have been here so long that these walls have lost their charm. They are only the bars of a prison to me. Please find my wife. Yes?
And it would seem that the deliverer of my people has found me at last. Many honored greetings to you, beckoned. If you would, I have more than pleasantries to discuss. Like many, I seek your prowess. I have lost much to the beasts of this land. I aim to ensure that none share this sorrow. Looking at the Colossi here, you will find we have it in ourselves to be truly great. But we are also capable of much violence. It is a grand city, worthy of protection. I strive to guard its citizens from the menaces below us, in the teeth of Naros. The beacon shows the path the Colossi must walk again. So it has always been claimed.
What do you need?
A culling. Though the Colossi are a people of faith, more and more of us are reverting to the savage ways of our ancestors. The lowest of these doubters become marauders, bloodthirsty and violent, capable of nothing but wrath. They must be purged.
I'll kill the marauders for you.
I thank you. It is high time we bring their savagery to an end. Each marauder should carry a totem of some sort. Bring those to me as proof of your deeds.
What, my word not good enough for you?
The marauders have lost their reason, but not their strength. If they catch you unawares, you will not have much time left.
Where can I find the marauders?
They roam the lands below the city. I do not doubt that you will find them if you seek them out in the wilds.
Alright, another female.
The famed beckoned comes to me at last. Admittedly, my request might be the smallest you will hear, but I wish to voice it nonetheless.
Themistoclea? Themistoclea.
I'm just one who's intent on maintaining the cultural integrity of her people. We were once no nobler than the Jotun or the Etin. Some would purge this history, but then how will we remember it? This is a place for those who are weary of their burdens. If you feel so, you can rest for a while. How do you find our city, Beckoned? Grand, is it not? It is the great island of progress, as I see it. But even it cannot forget the world it left below. All the rocks you see, here and in the sewers, once rested in the teeth of Naros.
What do you need?
To preserve the past. All around us is the great chisel and hammer of progress, keen on dragging my people towards enlightenment. But such progress means nothing without context. I wish for someone who can find artifacts of my ancestors, reminders of our simpler times.
I'll collect the artifacts.
Very good. I'll reward you for any artifacts you can find, but larger artifacts will do well for both of us. I wait your findings. They are little things, of no intrinsic value. But as my people are so convinced to make progress, these artifacts are the few records of who we once were.
Where can I find artifacts?
They are strewn throughout the teeth of Naros. They may be hidden in forgotten corners, or carried by beasts as trophies. Good luck in your search.
Another female? Wow, a lot of hotties in this place. Know your stone.
You do so much for us, Beckoned. How great of you to come to our city.
Penadike?
I am a member of the Guard, like any other. I am responsible for helping to manage the peace of the city. There are always smaller items of inquiry or aid that the people of Idylla need. This board allows the community to assist them. There are always things to look after in this city, but keeping busy is a good way to ignore a burdened spirit.
What's going on in the city?
Much. We have many issues in our great city that need attention. We encourage all who wish to help to find a task suited to them on the nearby petition board. You may examine it, should you wish.
All contracts open to first takers. See the guard to pay on completion of a task. Stowaway. Stowaway. Reports have come in that a troll cub was raised up with the city by mistake years before, and it has grown into a mighty silverback troll. The bounty will be paid for whoever brings the beast down. Lost in the sewers. Lost in the sewers. A surveyor has gone missing in the sewers. She had been sent to write a report on the current strength of the city's foundations. We need someone to find her, and if the worst has happened, deliver her report to Penadike. Hoarders in the sewer. Hoarders in the sewer. Several heirlooms have gone missing from Colossi households, likely the work of thieving sprites. The items are stashed somewhere in the depths of the sewer system. Interesting, no doubt, to say the least. Can you imagine just going down there? You can jump. Oh my lord. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's a trophy.
That's your step in the concourse.
That is a trophy. You jump down there from to your death. Alright.
Mind your step here, Beckoned. I wouldn't want the Colossi's failure to claim any more lives than it already has.
Why is there a pit in the city?
It is not here by choice. Or our choice, anyways. Such questions would be better suited for the Primos. Suffice it to say that this was made in anticipation of something that never occurred. Be cautious in these lands.
A lot of females, especially warriors. As soon as I say that, I come across a male finally. But you're female, though. You cutie. Do you need the bathroom or something? Is that your bathroom dance? Are you gonna pee yourself? Are you gonna wet your stone? You're gonna be a whetstone? Anyway.
Beyond these stairs is the sanctuary of the Primos, the leader of the Colossi people in the teeth of Naros. I must warn you, Anakotos has not left these quarters in years. He vowed to never cease his prayers until the gods answered them, and his people have languished for it. But I think his answer has finally arrived. Speak to him, Beckoned. His people have need of him.
Any advice on Anakotos?
After years in his sanctum, I doubt he is the Primos I once knew. But though we all languish in the god's absence, none suffer as he does. He will likely see you as the answer to his prayers. Be cautious in these lands. What is it?
Naros Fane. It's quite a bit. I'll keep that though, because that's pretty cool. Alright. I'm gonna save here. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes and 22 seconds into the stream. Well, as I was saying all that. So yeah, 2:22. As I looked at the time exactly for the amount of hours into the stream. It is, or well, at least on Twitch anyway. I find that the time mentioned on Twitch and the one mentioned for the stream-wise, when you have the black border on top left, like how long you've been streaming for, that's always like a couple of seconds ahead of the Twitch one. I think it's because it takes a few seconds for it to kick in on Twitch. Anywho, either way, regardless. This has been part 20 of Kingdoms of Amalur. Liking this so far. It's a breath of fresh air. This is all new to me. As I said, this is uncharted territory. I've never seen this stuff before. So, just going throughout this stuff is, you know, it's an adventure for me, basically. Well, I mean, going through the whole game has been an adventure for me, but yeah, this is something. This is something, though. Normally I don't stream Fridays, but I'm going to stream tomorrow. But I don't know if I'm going to stream Saturday, the game that Mama Pizza picked last week, because I haven't actually fully finished that game. And with saying that, I think I'm just gonna wait another week for it. I might stream another game in its place. I don't know. If I do, who knows what it will be. Yeah. So, instead of streaming, yay. No, I'm saying, like, I haven't completed your game yet. Like, you know, me and my mom haven't finished, you know, sitting down and playing it. Mainly because Sunday was just, you know, weird for us there. But when it comes to, what's it called? I can still smell that soup and it smells great. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be streaming Saturday. I might just take the day off Saturday and Sunday instead of Friday and Sunday. So, so we'll see what happens. Tomorrow I'll be streaming. Oh, you're probably saying yay for me streaming this tomorrow still. Or not still, but for tomorrow, because usually I take Fridays off. But yeah, I'm just gonna take it off. So, yeah, I want to thank Mama Pizza for coming by, and anybody else who was lurking. I know it's a bit of a shorter stream than, you know, for the last few streams, but yeah, I just tomorrow I'll start a lot more earlier. I just want to eat and talk to my lovely and stuff like that. So, anywho, I don't know. Maybe I should stream a sports game for Mama Pizza. And Mama Pizza will be like, "You stream a sports game? I ain't showing." Anyway, I'm kidding. Not a lot of people are into sports though. But if I was to stream a sports game, it would just be to play for fun, not whatever. So, yuck. Anyway, alrighty. Alright, folks. Till next time. aka tomorrow. And for those on YouTube, I'll see you all for part 21. Hope you're enjoying this so far. See yous. If these guys are made of stone, do you think they would poop gravel? They would poop rocks. Just little stones. Yes, I know. Weird thought, but I mean, you know. Just saying. Think about it.